travel budget for many years so I could go to places.
So what do you think about partnerships? What are your kind of your thoughts, your general thoughts, and like a quick overview of what you tell somebody about
On the
creating
importance of partnerships and
Yeah.
how one might get started. Well, it kind of boils down to one kind of simple phrase, but there's a lot to it. It's basically you have to be at the table.
You do.
You have to be involved, engaged at various levels, but one of the first things is invite yourself to meetings. Be available for, be engaged, be involved, take chances. Not everyone has the resources to be at the table all the time, but usually it just takes one small effort, and it can grow.
Yeah, partnerships are extremely important to what we do and everything. It's all the way down to the local level. I mean, from a county agent standpoint, partnerships is their advisory committee and everything. And it's, don't be afraid to ask. The worst that somebody's going to do is say they don't have time and that they're busy and they can't be a part of it. But forming those partnerships, especially like at the advisory committee level, it's extremely important to programming success.
Is there anything to be wary of in forming partnerships?
So, things to be worried about in forming partnerships is not everybody's a good partner and everything. And partnerships can end, and not because something bad, but just because, programs have life, partnerships have life, and at points people interests go in different directions and things like that. So it's just be conscious of the fact that if somebody's leaving your partnership, doesn't mean they're doing it because they don't like something or don't agree with what you're doing. Their interests just take them somewhere else.
And not all partnerships are created equal. Some partnerships are clearly defined as to goals and objectives and what everybody's trying to accomplish. Others are loosely connected individuals with similar common interests. And they grow, like you say, they change. And I think to be wary of how you spend your time and your energy and your resources. And, in the back of your head, you've got to be thinking, what's the payoff? What are my roles and what are the benefits of being involved in this partnership?
And that's, you mentioned about roles. Defining roles in a partnership it's very important. Defining those roles and working within those roles will ultimately lead to a very successful partnership, but it's important to define those roles up front.
Yeah, and especially communicating what your value is to the partnership.
Right.
So why is Extension, why are the universities involved in this? A lot of different reasons for that.
And just because you're in Extension, you don't have to take a back seat when it comes to being recognized and everything.
That's true.
Or
leading the charge.
Right, and that's probably one thing we tend to fail at from an Extension standpoint is a lot of times we'll let other groups take credit for things and we just kind of hang in the background, and we've played an important role in whatever the project might be. So it's good to step up and make sure you're recognized and everything, but not in the sense of bragging about what you're doing, but in the sense of making sure your organization is recognized for what you've offered and brought to the partnership.
Right. And I think more and more Extension needs to be leading some of these partnerships. Rather than coming in as the educational arm, Extension arm, we need to be taking the lead on some of these partnerships, in my opinion.
Right, and if you think about that, that goes, for an Extension specialist or faculty member that's working through tenure and having to get grants and things like that. A lot of people think the research faculty are the ones that have to take the lead on proposals and everything. There's nothing saying that an Extension faculty member can't take a lead on a proposal and invite the research people to be a part of it, where Extension leads the proposal and everything.
That's
I think
true.
New faculty that are coming in, that will lead to their success if they're willing to step up and take those type of leadership roles.
Yeah, and with the changing landscape, when you came on board, you were 100% Extension.
Right.
And you've got new faculty now that you are providing oversight to that are sometimes a minority appointment and extension, 30%, 40%, 20%. And they've got research or teaching appointments. So they can literally put on their research hat and write the research part of that proposal and put on their extension hat and bring in the extension component. So I don't know, maybe it's making it easier now to do these.
Well, I think what it does is it balances out the faculty member if they have split appointments and everything. So, you know, the idea is to blend your programs together. So if you have a research extension component program, if you're blending your research and extension together, you know, you're working towards one program, one goal, one outcome. You're more likely to be successful than trying to do a research program and then an extension program
Right,
that's separately and everything.
Yeah.
It just makes you a stronger faculty member, I think, with
Yeah.
the split appointments. But then again, somebody that's 100% extension doesn't mean, at least like at NC State, I've always done research. It's been applied type research that fits into my extension program
Right,
and everything.
yeah.
So.
Great.